Is a great shaking coming to America? Well, I'm reading through a lot of religious websites. They seem to be religious. A lot of them go to, quote religious scriptures and stuff like that. That within the last few weeks of September, that events are going to start to unfold. I'm seeing this, people making videos about this and, blog posts and things like that. One of the things is apparently there's a meteor that's going to hit the Earth, and that's supposed to be, in America. And then there are other things like a financial crisis and, stuff like that. Now, I think this is just people predicting stuff from the Bible. They read Bible text and, it's taken out of context and things like this. If you go back and actually look at stuff through history, you only have to go back as far as the 60s, and they'll say, oh, a national crisis is going to happen. There's going to be no food on the shelves. There's going to be no, gasoline. Gas stations, it's the end of the world, get stocked up, Armageddon basically is coming. And every so often, this happens. You get this, you get these stories that come out online, and people then start to spread the stories, and more people start to believe them and, take it in, I've got nothing against people prepping. I think, just in case, natural disaster happens, like a hurricane or a tornado or a flood or, anything. If war should break out, I think that it's good to prepare, and I think it's good to have a lot of food on hand and weapons of sort and ammunition. To prepare, for anything. But the same thing has been told now for over 50 years that, I've looked back, right from the 60s, the 70s, it's happened in the 80s, get prepared, buy gold, we're going to have an economic collapse, there's going to be no food in the next few years on the grocery store shelves. And it's just the same thing from people that are religious, Christians mainly, that are religious, that are predicting this. And it seems to always point to, some kind of biblical content. And of course, there's those that say, well, the government will help and all this stuff. Well, we saw what happened in Hurricane Katrina, didn't we, with the government. They didn't do a very good job of that. So, my thoughts on this, is there going to be an Armageddon? Is there going to be problems? Well, there's always problems, and majority of these are always, created by man, or men, and especially those that claim authority, over others. This government thing, they're the ones that, write. They have this get together. They scribble magical information on magical pieces of paper, and then they have a meeting and have a magical, incantation, and all say aye, and everybody, the majority of people, if they go along with it, all of a sudden that becomes law, and then everybody has to obey, and if you don't obey, then obviously you will be kidnapped and caged. So a lot of this stuff is actually created because of this thing called government and the belief in it. The people believe in this thing called government. And so there's always going to be problems while ever this superstition exists. And that's really all I have to say. I don't think that anything's going to happen at the last 3 weeks of September. I don't think anything at all is going to happen. I think things are just going to be the same, and you know, even if there's a failure in the stock market or financial or whatever, they'll just print more money. They'll just print more money, which is what they do, fictitious money. They'll just fiat currency. They'll just print it, and then they'll have another magical get-together, draft up some magical papers, and vote on it, and they'll just bail it out, and everybody will be on the hook to pay back the debt with taxes. And it's just as simple as that, you know. These people that are in control will control it, and while ever we keep using fiat currency, while ever people carry on encouraging the Ponzi scheme and you know, worshiping the rulers and voting and having these people control their lives and the lives of others, it is just going to be the same. I don't think anything is going to happen, despite what these websites and these YouTube videos are saying, you know, about it. It's just, to me, it's just religious bunk, and it's been spouted over and over and over again over the last 50 years, and it's just nonsense. You know, it's just nonsense to me. Whatever your thoughts are on it, then, you know, that's your thoughts. But I think for one thing, because of the internet and people making videos and having websites, more and more people are waking up to the fact, you know, of what is happening in the world, that a lot of the problems that we're having is created by men. And these men are psychopathic megalomaniacs that force their will on you through this thing called government. And until we change this and understand that the only person that knows better, you know, better to run their life is yourself, and stop thinking that these people that run this thing called government know how to run your life better than you, and start acting for yourself and helping others, you know, in the process in whatever way that you can, via, you know, voluntary mutual consent, until a good amount of people realize that. And I think people are waking up and understanding that government is not the solution. It's the problem. But when people understand that, you know, people coming together and helping one another, and, you know, taking charge of your own life and doing things, when people understand this and get on with it, then hopefully there'll be more peace in the world, which is what I hope. You know, we have all this displacement now, right now. You know, these refugees are trying to get out of you know, Syria because of the wars. Different countries, there's different displacements. There's people moving, right? There's people moving around. They're being chased off from different lands because they're trying to get away from the war and the oppression in their own country. And the countries that they're moving to, some of those people don't want them there, you know. It's very sick-minded of somebody that cannot see that somebody is wanting to move, you know, to a place to get out of the way of a war-torn country that, you know, they're escaping from. And you know, it's kind of the sick people that would stop that, you know, from happening. Anyway, I ranted on enough about this. I think that, anybody that's trying to get away from oppression, we should help them. People should help them. People should try and do their best to help them. I'm not talking about giving them, welfare and benefits and stuff like that. I'm talking about, help them get away from the situation, and then let them get a job and build their life again with their family. Because who wants war in their life? I certainly don't. I want peace. Anyway, like I said, I rambled on quite a bit about this, so I'll leave it at that, and peace.